Hello everyone, it's Sherry, and I am back with another great recipe from the CGH Health Foundation for our What's Cooking CGH video series. Today I'm going to be making a sweet corn soup, and this is a great soup to make while sweet corn is in season, but you could also make it with frozen sweet corn. I just think it tastes best when you use the corn when it is fresh and in season. So one of the worst things about sweet corn, I love it, but I hate cleaning sweet corn, taking the husks off. So I'm going to show you a really easy trick for getting the husk off your sweet corn. And if you have a small household like mine, there's just two of us, we just don't cook and eat a whole dozen ears of sweet corn at one time usually. So this is a way you can cook just a couple of ears or 4 ears like for this recipe. And it involves using your microwave. And so let me show you how to do that before I get started on the soup. So what you're going to do is going to take your ear of sweet corn, and I'm going to pull just those hanging things off, but I'm going to leave the silk and everything on it. And I'm going to feel for where the ear starts, you know, where it starts to get a little fatter there, and about 1/2 inch. And I'm going to take my knife. You do need a good heavy knife for this. And find that spot about 1/2 inch up from where the cob starts, and start your knife in there and then give it a chop. This takes the muscle, and you're going to want a nice heavy knife. And of course all the other ones I did went really easy, but not this one. Okay, so I have just that end cut off the sweet corn, and I'm going to put this in the microwave just like this. 1 ear for about 2 minutes. I'll be right back. And so it cooks in the microwave for 2 minutes, and then I'll show you how we get that husk off. So let's get started on the soup. I've got my soup pot here already heating, and I'm going to put in about 1 tablespoon of butter or margarine and just a little bit of my vegetable broth, so there's a little more moisture in there. So starting off, we're going to start off the soup with some diced onion. And I have about 1/2 cup of a diced sweet onion that's going in the pot. And I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of diced red pepper. This is optional, but it just really looks pretty in the soup when it's done. And next I have a large clove of garlic that I've pressed. And you could use garlic powder if you wanted to, about 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder probably. And that is all going in there. And so this is going to cook over about medium heat, and it'll take maybe 5 minutes for those vegetables to soften. And while we're waiting for the vegetables, I think that corn is almost ready. Okay, so I'm back from the microwave, and here's how we're going to get the husk off of this corn. I saw this on YouTube, maybe you've seen it, and it really, really works. Take a clean kitchen towel and wrap it around the corn, and then put your fingers right at the tip of the ear where you can feel it start, and then just hang on to it and start squeezing. Squeezing. A little bit at a time. Might have to start it again. It comes out just like a tube of toothpaste. And the best thing is, all of the silk comes right off with the husk. No picking it off. And there you go. You have cooked sweet corn that didn't take a lot of husking and etc. So, easy to do. And then for the soup here, this one's pretty warm. But you're just going to take your knife. What I like to do is if this was a big ear of corn, I would cut it in half, because when you start taking the corn off of the cob by running it down your knife, the higher up you start, the farther the corn is going to fly. So I usually cut the husk in half and start it. So that's what is an easy way to do that. I'm going to set that aside for right now. Okay. So once your peppers and your onions have been softening in here for about 5 minutes, we're going to go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients. And those are 4 cups, and this is about 4 ears of sweet corn that I cooked in the microwave and sliced off of the cob. I'm going to put that in. Okay, and the other thing I'm going to put in are the cobs. The cob is going to add a ton of flavor, and the corn is starchy and a little bit milky, if you will, and cooking the cob in with the soup is going to release all of that great starchy sweetness. So put the cob right in there for now. And then what goes in is 4 cups, so that's a whole quart of low salt vegetable stock. All right. Oh, I think I got it all. Maybe not quite. All right. And that's all for now. Put the lid on. Bring it up to a simmer and let it cook for 15 or 20 minutes over that medium heat. So what I did was I brought all of that up to a boil and then turned the heat down and let it simmer. It's been simmering away for about 15 or 20 minutes, so let's move on to the next step. I'm going to take it off of the heat here, and we're going to fish out those corn cobs because we don't need those anymore, but they have imparted their delicious flavor into the soup. So 4 ears of corn cut in half means 8. I better count them. Because the next step is to increase the creaminess of the soup. And the way I'm going to do that is with my immersion blender. Now, if you don't have one of these, you can take about half the soup, put it in your blender, and process it and add it back in. But that's going to emulsify some of that corn and turn it into a beautiful creamy base. If you didn't think it was creamy enough, you could also maybe add a half a cup of milk or so. I'm not going to completely cream it and emulsify all the kernels because I want to have some of that in there with the texture. Just a little bit. I can still see some corn kernels in there, but it looks creamy and delicious. And at this point, I want to add some additional summer flavors. So what I have is some basil, maybe just a tablespoon or 2 that I have cut into a chiffonade, so just really thin little ribbons. And I'll stir that in there. And oh my gosh, this is beautiful. It's not real thick like a chowder. Pretty hot, so I have a little bowl that I prepared for myself, and we're going to give it a taste. So can you see it? Beautiful colors with the red and the yellow from the corn. Sweet, fresh. I hope you give this recipe a try. You can find this and all of our recipes on the CGH website. Look for our YouTube channel and the What's Cooking CGH videos, and also on our blog, which is what'scookingcghmc.com. See you next time.